Ever feel like government contracts are this big, mysterious puzzle box? Like you need a secret decoder ring just to understand what's going on?
Well, today we're cracking that code wide open. We're diving into this synopsis about using automation and AI to make bidding on government contracts on sam.gov way more efficient. And dare I say, maybe even a little bit exciting.
It's not just about making things faster, though.
Right.
This synopsis goes way beyond just simple automation.
You're right. You're right. It's about working smarter, not harder. And this synopsis is like a masterclass in exactly that.
Exactly. It lays out a system for a complete, transformation of the bidding process, using tech not just as a tool, but as a strategic advantage.
Okay, so let's break it down. The synopsis kind of jumps right into building what it calls an automation arsenal. And let me tell you, they don't mess around.
No, they definitely don't. And it's a multi-pronged approach, which is really key here. We're talking, robotic process automation or RPA to handle all those nitty-gritty, like those repetitive tasks that can just suck up all your time. Like filling out endless forms and chasing down approvals. Oh, I can already feel my stress levels just dropping.
Exactly, exactly. Things like data entry,
Yeah.
document submission, even keeping tabs on the status of your bids. Imagine all that just happening automatically on autopilot.
It's like having an army of super efficient assistants just working around the clock for you. But hold on, because it gets even better. They're talking about bringing in the big guns, AI powerhouses like IBM Watson for serious data analysis.
And this is where it gets really interesting. I mean, it's not just about collecting data anymore. It's about extracting those golden nuggets of insight that can give you a real edge.
So instead of drowning in data, you're surfing on insights.
Exactly. Think of it this way. You could spend, I don't know, weeks, months even, just poring over data trying to connect the dots. Or you could have AI algorithms doing it for you, like in a fraction of the time, spotting patterns and trends that honestly would probably make your head spin.
Okay, now that is what I call working smarter. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we need to feed these AI and automation tools the good stuff.
Right.
Data.
Exactly. And this synopsis is all about tapping into the right sources.
Yeah.
It's like they say, garbage in, garbage out.
So where do we even start digging for this data gold? I mean, sam.gov itself seems like the obvious place to start.
Absolutely. The synopsis talks about using web scraping and APIs to pull down, like all the latest opportunities directly from the source. No more manual searches, no more missed deadlines.
Okay, so we're plugged into sam.gov, but we need more than just the raw data.
Right.
How do we actually make sense of it all?
Now you're thinking like a strategist. And this is where the synopsis gets really savvy, I think.
Hmm.
It emphasizes the need to combine that sam.gov data with intel from other sources, like market research databases, things like GovWinIQ.
So we're not just looking at contracts, we're getting the inside scoop on the whole playing field.
Exactly. Imagine having access to detailed information on who else is bidding on similar contracts, their track records, what they're bidding, even prevailing trends in, like government spending.
Talk about leveling the playing field. It's like going from playing checkers to chess.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Having all this data, even from multiple sources, it can still feel like, having a jumbled box of puzzle pieces. You need a system, a way to organize it all.
You're talking about creating a single source of truth, right?
Exactly. The synopsis really emphasizes the importance of building a centralized database. Your data command center, if you will.
So no more data silos, no more conflicting information, just one central hub where all your data lives in perfect harmony.
Precisely. And this is where that AI we talked about earlier, this is where it really starts to shine. Because when you have all your data organized and easily accessible, that's when the real magic happens.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued. Let's take a quick pause here, let our listeners process all this data goodness, and then we'll be right back to uncover exactly how AI transforms this data into actionable insights.
All right, so we were talking about having all this amazing data all organized and ready to go in a centralized database.
Data nirvana. But having data and using it effectively, those are two different things, right?
You hit the nail on the head. Think of it like this. You've got all the ingredients for a gourmet meal, but you still need a recipe to turn it into something amazing. That's where the AI comes in.
Okay, so AI is our master chef. Tell me more.
So this synopsis, it highlights how AI can analyze all that data, your company's past performance, market trends, competitor intel, the whole 9 yards. And it can pinpoint, identify those opportunities that are just the perfect fit for you.
You mean no more wasting time on contracts that are a stretch for my company's expertise.
Hmm.
No more getting blindsided by competitors I didn't even know existed.
Exactly. Imagine like an AI algorithm sifting through, I don't know, thousands of contracts,
Yeah.
pinpointing the ones that are perfectly aligned with your company's, niche expertise,
Mm.
opportunities you might have otherwise completely missed.
Okay, that's huge. It's like having an AI matchmaker, but for government contracts. Finding those like hidden gems that are just waiting for you to discover them.
And it gets even better. Once you've identified those prime opportunities, the synopsis suggests that you can actually use AI to help you craft like winning proposals.
Now, hold on a second. Is this where robots start taking over the world? I mean, writing proposals, that's where my team's creativity and expertise, that's where they really shine.
Don't worry, we're not talking about replacing humans here. It's about like augmenting your team's abilities, giving them a superpower boost. Think of it as having an AI writing assistant that helps you, I don't know, structure your proposals, highlight your key strengths, ensure they're clear, compelling, and compliant.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. So instead of staring at a blank page, I've got AI, like whispering brilliant ideas in my ear.
Think of it more like having a secret weapon that helps you refine your existing brilliance. The synopsis actually mentions using AI to create, like, standardized proposal templates. That can be automatically populated with relevant data from your database. No more starting from scratch every time or, like, copy-pasting from old documents.
And since it's pulling directly from our centralized database, we know the information's accurate and up to date. Talk about a time saver. But let's be honest, even with a fantastic proposal, it's a beast. One tiny misstep and it's game over.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
But this is where the beauty of this system, I think, really shines. The synopsis suggests putting RPA to work, and not just for those tedious tasks we talked about earlier, but for compliance, too.
Wait, hold on. We can automate compliance. Tell me everything.
Imagine this. RPA, double-checking your documents, making sure that you've dotted every I and crossed every T. It's like having a tireless compliance officer on your team working 24/7 to ensure every single submission meets those, those stringent government standards.
That is a game changer. I can practically hear the collective sigh of relief from like every government contractor out there. But this all sounds amazing in theory. How do we actually put this into practice?
Well, that's where the real brilliance of this synopsis lies, I think. It doesn't just throw a bunch of high-tech concepts at you and wish you luck. You know, it provides a really practical, step-by-step roadmap for implementation.
Okay, so it's not just a pipe dream. We can actually build this like automated bidding machine.
Absolutely. The synopsis breaks it down into manageable phases, starting with what they call the immediate phase, which focuses on quick wins that you can implement, in the first few months.
Quick wins, now you're speaking my language. What kind of things are we talking about?
So think about like setting up that centralized database we discussed, dipping your toes into RPA for automating those simple repetitive tasks, and then integrating with like essential data sources like sam.gov.
So the immediate phase is kind of like laying the groundwork, laying a strong foundation for the bigger, more transformative stuff.
Exactly. It's like prepping your launch pad for a rocket to blast off.
Yeah.
And speaking of blasting off, the synopsis, it lays out the short-term phase, which usually spans, the next 3 to 6 months or so.
This is where we really start to see some serious automation and AI magic.
You got it. This is where you start building out those advanced capabilities we were like drooling over earlier. The AI-powered opportunity matching those proposal-generating templates.
All that good stuff that's going to free us from like the clutches of these tedious tasks and catapult us to the next level of government contracting.
Exactly. And here's the best part. The synopsis. It doesn't just tell you what to do. It actually gives you real-life, like practical examples of how to do it. I mean, they even include sample chat GPT prompts to get you started with, like AI-powered proposal writing. It's like they're handing you the keys to the kingdom.
Okay, I'm sold. So we've laid the groundwork. We're mastering the AI tools. Our proposals are practically writing themselves. What's the finish line look like here?
That's where the long-term phase comes in, which is typically, around 6 to 12 months out. This is where you fine-tune your automation engine, optimize for peak performance, and really start, like, reaping the rewards of all your hard work.
So it's about going from good to unstoppable.
Precisely. Think about, like, integrating dashboards, for real-time performance monitoring, tweaking those AI algorithms based on, on actual results, how things are performing in the real world, and maybe most importantly, building a company culture that really embraces this idea of continuous improvement.
Because automation isn't just a set it and forget it kind of deal. It's about constantly learning, adapting, evolving.
You got it. And this synopsis, I think it emphasizes that. It's not just about implementing technology, it's about transforming the way you approach government contracting, as a whole. It's about embracing, data-driven decisions, streamlining processes, and ultimately empowering your team to focus on what they do best. Strategizing, building relationships, and ultimately winning those contracts.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive here, what's the key takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with today?
I think that the key takeaway is that the future of government contracting, it's here.
Yep.
And it's powered by this potent cocktail of, automation, AI, and good old-fashioned human ingenuity. It's about working smarter, not harder, and I think the synopsis is really the roadmap to get you there.
Beautifully said. It's like we always say, knowledge is power, especially in, this fast-paced world of government contracting.
And with the right tools and strategies, the possibilities they're limitless.
We hope this deep dive has inspired you to explore how, automation and AI could transform your own approach to government contracting. Until next time, happy bidding.